Welcome back to our Blue Z Water channel. I wanted to go over a protocol for any infection microbes and a preventative protocol so that if something's coming on or you've been exposed, you know what to do. So I went to the dentist yesterday. I had a heavy duty procedure, and in the past I've gotten sick after going to the dentist. So I did this preventatively. But this is good for anybody who you think something's coming on, you are susceptible, or you have some condition that's pretty hefty in long term, let's say like Lyme's disease. So it's pretty much a 3-tier protocol, although there's a new fourth piece that's somewhat antimicrobial, but also very helps with the tissue repair from dental work. So this involves our procedures in our antimicrobial program. It also, we have 2 playlists, actually 3 playlists. We have the antimicrobial program, the home ozone therapy playlist, and we also have our high frequency vortex electrostatic charge therapy. So the first thing I did when I got back from the dentist is I did ozone. So I did ozone, nasal ozone insufflation, and also rectal. That goes blood systemic, the rectal. And by the way, with ozone, you can go to a clinician and spend a lot of money and get IV ozone, but when you do it at home, the rectal insufflation becomes the blood systemic parallel. It's pretty close to doing IV, and you can always do a higher dose or repeat it. So actually, you can do several rounds. But it's a very, very effective, systemically excellent on the colon. Many microbes will house and nest in the colon region. You get stagnation and they nest. So doing the rectal insufflation is going to work on the microbes directly that are housing in the colon region and also go blood systemic. The nasal insufflation after dental work obviously helps, because if you're going to start getting any kind of infection, it's going to probably start working, it'll start incubating in the sinuses. So I did this immediately. Now, I could feel I know that if I had not done this protocol, I would have probably gotten sick. So then I have this new technology, the Terahertz Blower. This is a terahertz frequency that blows deep into the body, and I blew that all over my throat, lymph, and lung area. Can't do ozone in the lungs, it's toxic to the lungs. So the next thing I did is I did the high frequency vortex therapy on the throat, this region all over. And the last thing I did was I took the Terahertz blower, and it's very healing and it has antimicrobial benefits, and I blew this terahertz field all around my head, my sinuses. And if you're sensitive, you can kind of feel where areas of congestion are starting to build up. I'm very medically intuitive, so I can really sense what parts of my body need to be addressed. You know, every illness starts in that little shadow incubation stage, and if you're really tuning into your body, you can sense into the shadow and go right at it. So that's what I did. Once again, I did the ozone, nasal, rectal, then I did the high frequency vortex electrostatic charge therapy locally, chest area, throat, sinuses, and the last thing I did was the terahertz wand. So I just want to quickly show you our playlist so you can study up and learn these very basic tools. There's some other parts to the antimicrobial program. There is one additional therapy. I believe I might have done that yesterday too, which is using a very intense vibrational tool called the rapid release, and you put that on your chest, and that helps break up if something's trying to start to build in a certain area, it'll kind of break it up. It will not really kill. It's not an antimicrobial straight out, but it'll help break up the buildup or the congestion. let's say you had COVID and you got into your lungs, this would help break up that region and keep it from just locking down in one section of your lungs. So this is an adjunct, but not a direct antimicrobial. The three I mentioned really in conjunction are excellent. So let me show you some quick links. Okay, so this is our antimicrobial playlist. We review all the processes as far as what I just mentioned. These are the really heavy-duty antimicrobial tools, but there are also other tools to help pull out metals, chemicals, and we have this in these first couple of videos, all these 3 videos. Blue Z water and our energy enzyme blend go into the body and they help pull metals and chemicals. So we have the complete program in here. I'm just highlighting the really critical heavy gun tools. Now, if you're trying to process a lot of toxins, that's why you need to do this whole program. There's one thing to just go in and obliterate something. There's another thing to handle what's called the Herxheimer or detox reaction that you'll have. And for most of us, these microbes, bacteria, fungus, whatever, viruses, they're hunkered down pretty deep. They don't just leave easily. So it goes in kind of layers. And if you do go in for the heavy kill, you're going to have some serious reaction, what's called the Herxheimer reaction. You're going to feel terrible, flu-like headache. So you really need to know how to process that part of the aftermath of doing the heavy kill. So the more you do that, the less intense the detox reactions become, and eventually they become very minimal. Now there's one, I want to go into another playlist here. Okay, so this is the critical video to watch: New Holistic Technologies, ESD, standing for Electrostatic Charge Therapy Machine, and Clean 24. You can watch the whole playlist, but these are the tools, the 2 new tools we have that are highly antimicrobial. Now the Clean 24 is a wearable. You can actually wear this all day long. Again, people have just huge housings, let's say you have Lyme disease. You need to have the firepower plus the longevity of the therapy. I'll repeat that. You need the firepower and the longevity of the therapy to achieve success. You can't just do it for 3 minutes a day. So when you combine this, and the ozone, this is very, very strong antimicrobial therapy. Then you just go and process the die off and keep moving the toxins out of the body with the rest of our antimicrobial program. So please watch this video. These are the vital tools for combating microbes. Okay, let's go back. This is our ozone therapy playlist. Medical ozone at home, very, very powerful. In fact, I learned about the electrostatic charge therapies from Russian doctors who were doing ozone therapy in their clinic. So these are 2 therapies that work well together. They really complement one another. Sometimes I find the ozone won't quite do it, and I'll find the electrostatic charge therapies doing the trick, and then I'll conversely sometimes go, wow, I need that extra kick of ozone. You need them together. Ozone, once again, when you do the rectal insufflation, profound on microbes in the colon, and this is vital when trying to eliminate microbes. So probably going way, way back into my 20s, I started getting low-level infections, and so many people walk around in this state. They're always fighting something, and when you have these lodgings of microbes in the body and toxins, you get all kinds of issues, autoimmune, allergies, you name it. So it isn't just a pathogen, trying to take you out. Usually they're working low level and they're creating consequential problems. So these are just amazing therapies. Once you start doing it, it just changes your life. And when you learn to stack them together, it gets just so much better. I just want to be clear that literally the way I went after going to the dentist yesterday, in the past, I would have probably gotten sick for a week. And this is a very invasive procedure. I used to bring colloidal silver with me when I went to the dentist and would take it on, as I went. I mean, you got microbes in your mouth, you're bleeding. I mean, it's perfect opportunity for getting infected. And now with COVID, God knows, You can go to the dentist or go, I know many people have gone into a hospital for a routine procedure and come out dead, literally. So you really need to be serious about having this available like that. So if you think you've been exposed, you immediately hit the ozone, the electrostatic charge therapy, and do the terahertz wand. So let's say it's the lungs. You can do systemically the ozone, do the sinus cavity, which helps because the microbes tend to nest in the sinuses and in the colon. So they then work their way into the lungs. Then literally tactically, we have a whole lung video protocol. We can look at that, but do the terahertz wand and the electrostatic charge therapy directly on the lungs. It goes right through. Keep in mind that we're looking at therapies that are cell permeable, that go through the whole body. This is something I've been focusing on probably in the past, I don't know, 5 years, just what gets to the cells, what goes in deep, what penetrates through resistance. And we have a whole list of therapies we have a whole list of therapies that I call cell systemic. They have different actions. I'll post a link below to what's called our pros and con charts that helps you sort out what each therapy does. Please, if you're ever looking out there and you're suffering, let's say, with heavy duty infections, please consider each therapy, its limitations. I know a lot of people who look into Rife technology, but with Rife, you're really not dealing whole body. You're dealing with a particular frequency, trying to knock out a particular microbe. And the problem is that the terrain can be very toxic, and you need to deal with the entire toxic terrain and have therapies that literally go after every dimension of microbes, not try to pick out one, because what happens is you knock out one, then you get another and another. I always say, if you have a swamp, what are you going to do? Shoot the microbe out of the swamp? No, you need to change the swamp terrain. Okay, so it's important to have these tools ready to go. These are amazing tools. I spent a lifetime searching for these tools. And I was very lucky because I ran into people who knew about, for instance, the electrostatic charge therapy out of Russia. This is what I call I met these doctors who turned me on to this additional adjunct therapy I went with ozone. So be prepared, be ready. This can save your life. Learn these skills, start to get to know them. And then when something arises or you think something, you can do them no matter what. If you think something might be coming on, do it. It's going to help you. They're cell systemic. The ozone cleans the entire body. It's like giving your body a bath. The electrostatic charge purges through the entire body. It's like I always say it's like sitting in a lightning storm and not getting electrocuted. Just bathes you in this electrical field. Very, very, very healing. And then the terahertz wand is literally just showering you with terahertz frequency, which is very, very healing. It helps the cells heal, regenerate, and has an antimicrobial aspect to it. It's not a direct kill type of field, but it stimulates the body's immune system pretty rapidly in the stem cell activity. But if you have any questions, please contact me, Andrew at bluesywater.com. Thank you.